Okay, Madam President, you are live.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, everyone. It's so good to see you. A couple weeks ago, I got to go to a conference in Ohio. So today's beverage, my Diet Coke here, is in the Ohio State tumbler. This was a gift from the Ohio clerks. And so go Buckeyes. And, and then in 2 weeks, I'm going to the conference in Wisconsin to see the Wisconsin clerks. So I'm very excited about that. But we'll talk about schedule and everything here in a minute. I would like to go ahead and get started. We had some questions, so I thought that would be a good place to start. There were some questions regarding the PLUS program, the new Education Plus program, which was launched in July, very successfully, I might add. I think there's about 75 people who have enrolled, and the deadline was July 31st. The next time to enroll will be January of 26. And we are very excited. If you have any questions specifically about classes or what will count or not count, I know one of the questions we got was, would election classes count? And I guess that would be more of a Dr. B question. She could help you and determine if that would meet the education requirements for the EPP program, the PLUS program. The other questions was when someone asked about how do I become a committee member? That's a very good question. I can help you. In December, January, we have forms that are online, and you just print out a form and you just fill it out. You put your first, second, third choices of committees, and you just fill it out and submit it to the IIMC office. If you want to go ahead, you can. Most of the committees have already started, but if you're just dying to get on one, I'm sure we can find a place. It may not be your first pick because of the committee may already be full. But if you want to go ahead and get started, that's fine. But January will be when the kickoff for the next year will be. Someone asked about a deputy clerk, and would I recommend a mid-sized city having a deputy clerk? I never really thought about it before. I would say if the budget would allow, definitely for a smaller town. I know some of the smaller towns around Laurel, if the city clerk is out, the doors close. I mean, there's no one there to take water payments or payments of any kind or run the city. It would be really nice, particularly in a smaller town. But a mid-sized town, I would say yes for the same reason, because the city clerks do have go on vacation or get sick or whatever, and so it would be nice to, if the city could afford it, to have a deputy clerk. I know in the larger towns, of course, you become much more specialized. There's maybe deputy clerk over elections, deputy clerk over records management, but it would be nice if you could have. I've worked in mid-sized cities, and I can see advantages of having deputy clerks. We have 4 deputy clerks here in Laurel. So it works out for us, and we're a mid-sized city. Okay. Then someone asked me about our schedule. Well, like I said, I went to Ohio about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was a great conference. The Ohio clerks, I don't know if we have anyone from Ohio today, but we had some this morning. And the conference was just wonderful. If you ever get a chance to go to Ohio conference, please go. They really treat you well. They have excellent classes. And I learned a lot. And I shared a lot of the information with my Mississippi Association. Then in 2 weeks, I'm going to Wisconsin. I'm hoping it's going to be a lot cooler in Wisconsin than it is in South Mississippi. I'm really looking forward to that conference. Then in September, we will have our budget meeting, and that will be at the headquarters in Rancho Cucamonga. Then the middle to end of September, I've been invited to attend the Tennessee. I see Beth Hickman on here. I'm very excited about going to Murfreesboro and going to that conference. I know Tam Carr is going to be great. I used to work in Nashville. My brother and sister-in-law live in Memphis. So Tennessee is like a second home for me. So I'm excited about going to see the Tennessee clerks. Then in October, I'm working on maybe a trip down to Baton Rouge to see some Louisiana clerks. I'm excited about that. And then November, of course, will be our mid-year board meeting, and that will be scheduled in Orlando. So as you can see, it's going to be a very busy fall. And of course, the two big trips. I see Lisa Garcia has joined us. Hello, Lisa. Lisa's going to be representing us at the Symposium Study Abroad class, and we are very excited about that. How many are going? We got some people who are planning on attending. Okay, good. I see some hands going up. This is going to be a fantastic opportunity, a wonderful opportunity to get to go to the Netherlands and Belgium. And then Lisa's also going to represent us at the LSRCC in England. So Lisa's got her bags packed. She's ready to go. We're really excited that she's going to be representing IMC. I see my good friend Ruth Post on here also. Welcome, Ruth. And I know I am still very disappointed that I'm not going to get to go to Oregon, but I understand as of today that Dawn is going in my place. And I know that Dawn and Every will be wonderful representatives of IMC, and we are very excited about that opportunity. So now what I would like, because I've kind of finishes my questions, I think we have some region directors and some past region directors. I see some executive committee people on here also. Let's start with the top row, and that would be Ruth Post. Ruth, would you introduce yourself?
Hi there. I'm very happy to introduce myself. I'm Ruth Post, and I'm from Philomath, Oregon. I'm a Region 9 director. I'm in my last year as Region 9 director. Region 9 is Oregon, Washington, California, Alaska, and Hawaii. And we just added another member from Hawaii, the Honolulu City Clerk. So we were very excited about that. I imagine we're still a long ways from, traveling to Hawaii much, but we're getting ready to gear up here in Region 9 with the next round of conferences. So we will miss you in September in Oregon, but I understand I will see you in Alaska in December. So
thank you. Now the next row, I see Colleen Mulvey. Colleen, will you introduce yourself?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Hi, I'm Colleen. I'm Region 8 West Director. Just got sworn in May. We just published our first little newsletter that went out to our members. What we're planning on doing is we want to do a Region 8 conference because we kind of promised each other we'd do one every 3 years or so. So we're going to actually try to combine East and West, even though we just separated, because I think we'll get a better attendance if we combine it all. So we still don't know where that's going to be at, and we're in the initial phases, but it's kind of fun. I'm learning a lot about the ins and outs of IIMC, so I've been really enjoying it and getting to know the members. It's awesome.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I see our President-elect, Lisa Garcia. Lisa, do you have a word for us?
I just want to say hi to everybody. I am looking forward to going and representing our lovely president, and I'm excited to speak about all things IIMC. And I'm really looking forward to, I have a conversation with ICMA about leadership activities and how to combine. Marianne and I have been talking about that, and I'm trying to get to see if I can put in a submission to do a presentation for the ICMA members about municipal clerks, since I'm a member of both organizations. So I'm really excited about the work that we're doing, and I'm enjoying working with the EC and all of the directors on the board. And I think we got great things coming.
Thank you, Lisa. And the next row, I see the Vice President, Don Abrahamson. Don, do you have a word for us?
Hi, good afternoon. Sorry I was late. I had a potential mayor candidate knock on my door to file
Oh.
some
I
papers. So
understand.
it's already started and the election's not till next year. So anyway, I am the vice president and I'm just new at this and learning the ropes from Lisa and Mary. I have great leaders to follow in their footsteps and I'm here to support them and the board. Ruth, I think you will see every in Oregon in September. So I'm looking forward to being there and representing President Hess and seeing the OAMR family again.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I also see on that row Pamela Smith, our immediate past president. Pamela, do you have a word to share?
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say hello. Thank you, President Mary Ann. It's good to see some new faces and old faces. I just hope you're doing well and keeping cool. It is in the hundreds here, and I know Lisa and I have talked about that. She has dry heat. I have wet heat. So you do not want to go outside, and I'm sure Don from Eagle Lake can attest to that. So thank you for allowing me to say hello.
Okay, thank you, Pamela. The other things that were on my list to go over with y'all today. As you know, when you get your CMC and MMC, traditionally you were given a plaque and you paid, I think, like $40 for that plaque. And we were so excited about them. But unfortunately, our vendor has played out on us and we don't have a vendor right now. We will probably be discussing this more as at the board meeting in November about what we're going to do. But right now, we're just sending out certificates and the clerk can't, and we'll give them back their money, of course. And we are allowing them to decide if they want to do their own plaque or frame. I know in my office, my deputy looked around Laurel to try to find a plaque and we couldn't find anyone in Laurel. I guess this must be a dying art or something because we could not find anyone to do the plaque either. So she had it framed and it was very attractive. It looks really nice. So maybe this is the way we'll go in the future. We'll decide how we're going to do this at our board meeting in November. Of course, you know, the budget committee meets in September in Rancho Cucamonga. So of course, the headquarters and the staff are really busy right now finalizing the budget and getting everything ready for that budget meeting. The elections committee has been very hard at work. They have met and they have a recommendation. We have a virtual board meeting next week, next Thursday, and their report is something we will look at. We will not vote on it, but we will look at it and vote on it at the November board meeting. We're trying to keep these virtual meetings more for information and just keeping the board members up to date and more of a sharing informational kind of meetings rather than votes. So we'll be voting on their final election report in November. I have started a new blog. I've never done a blog before, but if you're interested, it's on the website and you're welcome to look on there. It talks more in detail about my trips and the different things I have learned. It's really been helpful because I've been able to share things with Mississippi and Ohio and hopefully learn from each other different best practices, so to speak. But you're welcome to look at it and tell me what you think, good and bad. It's a work in progress, so first time I've done anything like that. So just sharing my thoughts on things that I noticed about the conferences. Okay. I was looking at my list here. There's the big one. As you know, next year we're going to Calgary. I see a lot of names, a lot of new names that I don't know. So I hope you're planning on going ahead and putting in your budget and planning on going and attending the IMC conference next May. It is like that last week in May, right before the Memorial Day. Last year, I had the opportunity to go to Canmore, Alberta, for the Alberta Clerks Conference. And it was amazing. The Alberta clerks, they know how to put on a conference. So I'm sure the Calgary Planning Committee will go overboard with this conference. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be fantastic. Now, what was interesting was back in June, I had the opportunity to go to Niagara Falls, Ontario for the Ontario Clerks Conference, AMCTO. And one of their guest speakers was this man named Sean B. He was fascinating. For those of you who went to Little Rock last year, you remember how exciting Clint Palmer was on the drums and how we were all standing up and just, it was just great. It's not that, but it is high energy. It's like that in terms of energy. You're going to really enjoy it. It's a totally different genre. It is rap. He has performed with like Snoop Dogg and some of these other big names. But now, well, I think during COVID, he kind of went on his own, and he's from Toronto. So we're going to have a Canadian at our first general session. We are very excited about him. He takes leaders in history, and he makes up rap songs showing good and bad leadership styles of this person. Like he did one from Malala. He did Dr. King. This man, Terry Fox, who was a Canadian runner, and Serena Williams. He did 4 of them. And after each rap song, he went into detail, then good and bad leadership styles of that person and how we can apply it. And it was fascinating. I mean, I was just mesmerized the whole time, just watching him go back and forth because it was just amazing. I think we are in for a big treat. I don't know which leaders he will choose. He's on YouTube, so if you want to check him out, you can. But he was just really interesting. So I would recommend that. I'm excited about the conference. This year at the conference, the Mississippi clerks gave me a reception, and we didn't know anyone who could sing, so no one from Mississippi, and so I said, well, what if we do karaoke and we all sing together, And because I was kind of sweating it because I was afraid I was going to be doing the singing, and we don't want that. So, but it turns out that we have a lot of talented people. Getting them to get up, and they were not shy. Getting them, the problem is keep the mic away from them. I tell you, we just had a great time. And so that's why we are thinking about doing a karaoke fundraiser for the foundation. I think it would be fun. It would be, it'd be something different. So I think we're going to see how that goes. We're going to run that up the flagpole, as we say, and see what happens. So as you can see, there's going to be this conference, and I think it's okay. It's going to be out of the country. It's okay that we be a little different this year. We're going to break out of our traditional mold, and we're going to experience new things. So I really, really hope everybody can go. This is a big, exciting conference, and I really hope to have a good attendance there. Everyone's planning on going to Calgary. You're going to see some hands. See some hands. Oh, I see a lot of hands. This is wonderful. I'm excited. Oh, yay. I'm very excited about that. It's going to be a wonderful educational opportunity for us. Okay. Okay, Ruth has her hand up. Ruth, would you like to say something?
I just wanted to remind people that because Calgary is in Canada, now is the time to make sure that your passport is in order, because it can take several months to do. So make sure you got that passport taken care of so that doesn't hold you back from coming to Calgary.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Ruth. That is very important because even if you think there might be a tiny possibility, let's go ahead and get that passport in order. Excellent. Okay. Do any of y'all have any questions for me? anything you would like to share that's going on with your states or with your regions? Some conferences you've attended?
Madam President, this is Karen.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Has anything in your travels, because we know you've been traveling quite a bit,
Yes,
has
yes.
anything in your travels surprised you that you've seen?
Oh, one of the classes in Ohio, and I've never been to a class where in Mississippi it's called the Wildlife and Fisheries Department. And we've never had anyone come speak to us from the Wildlife and Fisheries Department. But Ohio had a class, and this man came and he talked about coyotes and deer in particular, about how you need to have a plan before you need a plan on how to properly relocate the animals, how to track them safely, how to get them out of your cities. And I thought, well, that's interesting, because lately all we've had are alligators. We've had a couple, not very many, but we've had a few alligators. We've had some in the parks, and one was chowing down behind Popeyes. So, you know, but we don't really have coyote or deer, I'm thinking. I was wrong, because just in the past 2 weeks since I've been back home, we have had a coyote on the walking trail at the condos where I live. And trying to, you know, properly trap it and get it relocated has turned out to be an ordeal. So I have learned, I guess I brought him home with me from Ohio. I'm not sure where he's come from, but we obviously have a bigger coyote problem than I realized. And so that was kind of an interesting class. I had never really thought about disposing of wildlife. But I see Ruth made a comment that they have turkeys, and I guess they have to worry about how you're going to properly dispose of the turkey. I mean, relocate them or whatever you need to do to get them out of your city. Does anyone else have an interesting class they've been to lately? One thing I learned in Ontario, which was interesting, a couple years ago, Mississippi started a statewide voter roll, you know, registration roll. And Ontario is going through the same pains. They have one, but they've gone to a different vendor. So I thought, well, even if we are different countries in this case, here we are with very similar problems. And that's what brought it home to me that, oh, we've actually been through this just recently. And so I find it interesting that even different forms of government, different countries, and we still find ourselves very similar situations. So I thought that was interesting. Anything else? Any questions? It's great seeing y'all. I really appreciate y'all logging in today, and I hope this has been helpful. We have a lot of exciting things coming up this year, and I hope you'll stay engaged and stay. If you have any questions, feel free to call me or email me anytime, and I will do my best to answer them or refer them to IIMC, and I'm sure they can help you. Okay, well then I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you. Thank you for attending. We appreciate it very much, and have a nice day.